Population ecology. It is a branch of ecology which studies the interaksi of a population with its surroundings. Okay, inilah dia population ecology. Bermaksud interaksi antara biotic component, and that's the population, and also the abiotic components, as well as the biotic components, iaitu dia punya sekeliling. So as learned in subtopic 9.1, the previous ones, what is a population? Let's recap. It refers to a group of organisms of the same species and they are living in the same habitat. Lepas tu kita lihat kepada istilah population distribution, taburan populasi, which shows how the organisms yang sama spesies itu is able to spread out in a habitat. So let's go and surf into the factors that is going to affect the population distribution. Okay, here are the factors. The first one, let's look at temperature ataupun suhu. Sangat penting. Okay, so this effects is going to affect, okay, kesan ini, faktor-faktor ini akan memberi kesan kepada tumbuhan. Okay, temperature ataupun suhu. Okay, let's use the word optimum. So I'm going to highlight this. The important terms: optimum temperature for the plant growth is between 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, inilah dia yang paling sesuai for growth. Okay, how? If it is too high, terlampau tinggi, enzyme will denature. Okay, tidak dapat berfungsi, because we know for the biochemical processes to take place, enzymes is very essential. So if enzymes action is being disrupted, okay, in this case, high temperature causing the enzyme to denature, then we say that the plants is unable to grow well. Okay, so this is going to cause stunted growth of the plants, and also high temperature, okay, akan menyebabkan the rate of water evaporation, iaitu proses transpirasi terjejas. Terjejas in sense that it is in terlampau banyak, terlampau tinggi kadar transpirasi, so that means the water lost from the plants is excessive, which is very bad to the plants. Okay, and hence high temperature, very high temperature is going to slow the rate of photosynthesis as well, sebab terlampau suhu persekitaran terlampau tinggi. But if it is low temperature, ini kita panggil extreme. Kalau optimum tu paling sesuai. If it is high, ini dia punya kesan. Tapi kalau rendah sangat pun tidak bagus, because it is going to reduce the activities of the enzyme. Enzyme jadi tidak aktif. Reduce activity of enzymes, which will eventually slow down the biochemical reactions. Ini pun tidak bagus juga. Okay, next factor is water. Okay, we know that water is very essential. Enzyme activities needs water by the names hydrolysis. Hydro itu sudah menunjukkan kehadiran air yang begitu penting. Okay, so water is needed for enzyme activities. Okay, for photosynthesis, definitely, because masih ingatkah proses photolisis itu yang memerlukan kehadiran air. Okay, as well as for transport. Okay, sebab yang larut bersama dalam air adalah the mineral salts, the ions that are needed by the plants. Okay, as well as for support, mechanical support, khususnya bagi herbaceous plants, iaitu tumbuhan yang tidak berkayu, di mana they are depending on the turgidity of the cell. Okay, so if dry regions, kawasan yang sangat kering seperti kawasan gurun, kawasan ada tundra areas such as the poles, ya, ini dua kawasan ekstrim lah, terlampau panas, gurun, terlampau sejuk di kawasan kutub. So these regions, they have low population distribution. Okay, tidak begitu sesuai untuk hidupan. Therefore, we say taburan populasi itu adalah rendah. Also, low density of plants. Kepadatan tumbuhan pun rendah. Okay, light. Light is also very essential because remember photosynthesis. Photosynthesis dia sudah bagi satu ini peringatan. Foto itu merujuk kepada cahaya. So kalau tidak ada cahaya yang mencukupi, the process of photosynthesis is going to be affected. So areas which receive little light, kurang cahaya, kuranglah tumbuhan. Okay, pH of the soil. pH of the soil selalu kita tidak begitu ingat faktor ini, but actually it is very essential sebab soil itu is a very important habitat untuk pelbagai haiwan ataupun organisma yang kita selalu tidak nampak. Haiwan atau mikroorganisma yang haiwan-haiwan kecil seperti cacing. Okay, so the pH of the soil is important. Okay, and this one we're talking about plants. So pH, tanah untuk tumbuhan, because we know the plants has to be rooted. They has to be rooted. Nutrient absorption is through the roots. Nutrients and also water absorption is through the roots. So if the pH changes, whether it has become too extreme, too acidic ataupun dia menjadi too alkaline, so this is definitely going to affect the plants in the sense that it will cause the absorption of the nutrients to be much lower. Okay, jadi kita katakan pertumbuhan itu akan terganggu, disrupted, because of the lack of nutrients. Okay, lack of nutrients. Dalam kes ini kita bincang tentang tumbuhan ya. Okay, look here. It's the effects towards the plants. Okay, kalau mineral salts contain kandungan garam mineral. Okay, again, it is closely related to the absorption of water because the mineral salts dissolves in waters. Jadi selalu kita sebut pengangkutan air itu jangan juga kita lupa untuk menyebut bersama the mineral salts. Okay. So the salt content is actually affecting the absorption of water. Jangan lupa kita ada proses osmosis. Osmosis. Apa itu proses osmosis? Osmosis by the roots. So if it is high salt content in the soil, kita cakap surrounding the environment of the soil sekarang ini adalah hypertonic, lebih garam. So this will cause the plants to lose water. Lose water. So plants will diffuse from the roots to the surrounding soil solution because of the purposes bagi tonicity ini. Okay, so the minerals are needed. Why are the minerals so essential? Kita kena lihatlah sebab productions of proteins, of enzymes, nucleotides, vitamins and other compounds in the plants. Mereka itu perlukan nutrient. Nutrient itu memang dalam bentuk mineral salts antaranya. Okay, so as an example, phosphorus is used by the plants to form phospholipid. Salah satu komponen yang sangat penting, phospholipid. You remember that? What's a component that is making use of the phospholipids? Major komponennya phospholipid adalah the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. Okay. Okay, kepada haiwan pula kita lihat. Okay, kepada haiwan pula. Okay, do not forget temperature. Sebab terlampau ekstrim memang tidak sesuai untuk didiami oleh haiwan-haiwan. Too high temperature, the habitats are less inhabited. Memang kurang dia punya penghuni. Less inhabited. Contoh haiwan tersebut yang terjejas. Okay, haiwan-haiwan yang kecil seperti the worms and also the snails. Too extreme. Ataupun faktor kedua adalah air, water, where animals are concentrated in areas that have enough water sources. Maksudnya ini akan ada lebih organisma tinggal di sesebuah kawasan yang ada air yang mencukupi. Kalau kawasan itu adalah kering, kawasan itu selalu tidak cukup air, okay, definitely it won't have high density of organisms lah. Okay, kenapa air sangat penting? Dia bagi contoh. It's for drinking, of course. Kalau tidak, sel-sel dalam tubuh itu akan dehydrated. Satu lagi dari segi penyucukan kepada badan, cooling effect, not enough water akan menyebabkan too much heat because of the less cooling effect by the water. Breeding site ataupun tempat pembiakan, because this is an animal, okay, so they need a safe and a suitable breeding site for the animals to raise their offspring. Mesti ada satu tempat ataupun sarang ataupun satu habitat, kawasan yang sesuai untuk mereka membiak dan juga for protection lah, to raise the youngs. Dan sangat penting because animals, they are the heterotrophs, they are unable to synthesize their own food. Therefore, food supply becomes very important factors in the population distribution. Okay, kalau tempat itu kurang makanan, of course, they won't be able to survive. So it's important for survival. Okay, just now I mentioned the terms heterotrophs. Mereka bergantung kepada organisma lain, dependent on the plants or the other animals for the food source. Okay, so here are the three patterns of population distribution, which are clumped, berkelompok, ataupun cluster, random secara rawak, dan juga kita ada uniform, di mana dia merujuk kepada seragam ataupun sekata. Okay, let's look at clumped. So the dots here is showing the populations, the organisms. So the clump organisms form separated groups. Mereka ada kelompok-kelompok tertentu ataupun cluster tertentu is because of the uneven distribution of resources. Mungkin contohnya di sini, I'm going to use my pen. Kawasan ini ada banyak faktor yang to enable survival. Mungkin ada banyak sumber makanan ataupun air. Manakala kawasan yang tidak ada taburan itu, they don't have resources. Okay, manakala dekat B sini pun ada enough resources for them to survive C. Jadi akan muncullah pattern begini, iaitu secara berkelompok, forming separated groups. Uneven distribution of resources. Okay, the second pattern, secara rawak ataupun random. Okay, I'm going to use my highlighter. Distribution is in free pattern. Free pattern punya distribution. Okay, I'm going to change the ink color. It involves species that have little interaction among individuals. Selalunya taburan begini tu, spesies tersebut mereka adalah yang kurang, kebergantungan itu adalah kurang ataupun kurang interaksi sesama individu tersebut. Kurang interaksi. So that's why they don't come together as a group, but then they are freely distributed. The pattern of distribution is random. Okay, spesies dengan interaksi yang kurang bersama dengan organisma atau individu lain. Okay, the third pattern is uniform, where the organisms are distributed all over an inhabited area. Maksudnya kawasan itu. Okay, let's say this is the area lah. Okay, this is the area. Kawasan ini dengan luas yang tertentu. Okay, if you are to go into this area, seems like all over this place has got organisms. Jadi kita kata taburan itu adalah sekata uniform. So what kind of species are involved? These involve species which every individual they compete. Ada persaingan, compete, persaingan, compete for limited resources in an area. Okay, every individual competes for limited resources in an area. Jadi dia tidak nampak ada satu kelompok tidak wujud, juga bukan secara rawak, tapi nampak secara sekata. Seems like every spot here has got quite even distributions of organisms, and they are actually limited resources in that area lah, and every individual seems to compete for it.